Okay, ladies, we're going to come back and talk a little bit about how you fur. And because furring is tedious, you need to start with your elbows relaxed on a table, your shoulders down, and then you are going to hold. It's important that you have a place to brace your scissors. So you're going to brace your scissors on your finger, and you're going to open your scissors up so that the throat or the very back edge of the blade is placed on the paper, and then you're going to use your thumb and your finger to push your paper. So that way you're moving the paper, not your scissors. So I'm going to let Tina have a piece of fur, and we're going to show you the process. Now you're doing this for two reasons. You're doing this to get your paper into the throat of the scissors because you have better control. If you're out on the end of your scissors, you don't have control of the length or the distance between your cuts. So it's important to keep the piece that you're furring clear into the throat of the scissors, and that allows your cuts to be closer and more accurate, and it also causes less stress on the body. So we're going to talk about turning curves because the bunny is curved and your fur pieces are cut in semicircles. So it's important that you be able to turn the paper so that you continue in the direction the fur is going. Now to do that, you cut two short cuts which don't go very far in, and then a long cut. And if you do two shorts and a long, what happens is it gradually turns your scissor blades so that you follow the curve of the fur piece that you're doing. So you do two short cuts and a long, and two shorts and a long, until you get your scissor angle to match the direction of the fur on the print. And when you're good with that, then you cut until you notice that the angle of your fur no longer matches the lines on the print. It's important that you cut your fur in the same direction as it is printed on the paper. Otherwise, you're cutting across the fur of the animal, and it'll look like you chopped up a guy, which you don't want it to look like that. So just remember, to turn the corners, it's two short cuts, and by short, that means you're not cutting full length of the blade or very far into the blade. You're doing very short cuts and then do a long cut, which is the length of the fur that you're cutting. And this rabbit has long fur, so your fur cuts can be 1/4 inch long, so that when you put him together, the long fur is going to lay over so you don't get stripes in the rolls. And so we're also going to talk about, this is a dark brown rabbit. So when you cut into paper, what it creates is a white line. And if you notice, if you're looking at Tina's furred piece here, he doesn't look brown anymore. Your rabbit has turned white. So Tina's going to stop and turn that over and show you. For me, my fur looks like a curly poodle if I don't straighten it. And the simple way to do that is to take your shaping pad and a round tool, and then you're just going to run your round tool down gingerly. I don't want you to beat it up because you'll take out big chunks of fur. So just very softly run the tool down the backside, and what it'll do is it will take the curl out of your fur so that your fur becomes straight again. And if you turn it over and you notice it's still curling, then you can do the same thing on the front, but do it gingerly because you've already cut small slits in this paper and you don't want to make your rabbit look like he ran into a barbed wire fence and lost a big chunk of fur. So you're going to do that, and then because you've got the white edges, it's perfectly okay to take your marker and color the back, which will color the cut edge from that side. And then you can, and you can always switch it around and color it from the other direction. So you're coloring from this way, and then you can turn on the front and color out a lot of the white so that your rabbit doesn't become a white rabbit. If you look at your print, you notice that the rabbit has a lot of white highlights in his fur. So it's okay to leave some of those in there, but what you don't want it to look like is that your bunny rabbit has now become white. Okay, so we're gonna stop here, and then the next one is going to be talking about dry fitting your wire on your rabbet base so that you have the ability to curve the body the way you want it to. Okay, we're over and out.